A pleasant morning to everyone, especially to you, Ma'am Nesil Shandy J. Villardo. I am Mianne Lizette P. Elemento, first year college, BS Criminology, Section A. This morning, I will present to you my three different researches. First, the Convention of all forms of discrimination against women. Second is the rights of the child from Declaration to Convention. And third is the evolution of the human rights law. I believe that these topics are the great significance in the society that we live in. Oftentimes, rights of women and children are often neglected. The study of the evolution of human rights also is a significant topic since as future implementer of human rights law, it is imperative that we study this. First, I will discuss my chosen topic, which is Convention on the Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. I have chosen this topic for I myself is a woman, knowing that we have such convention that protects women globally. I decided to dig further in this topic. After the research, I was able to know further the following facts about the convention. First, the convention was anchored on the fact that women were abused, discriminated globally. There was a time wherein women were abused and were not given rights, even the suffrage. Women even were not allowed to even access education. These are just basic rights which women are deprived of before. Because of this above, other matters concerning women push United Nations to make a stand for women. Second, approval. The convention made a great way for women to have their voices heard. Slowly, women have the rights and are protected by different rules globally. Women are now more empowered and they are learning to stand up for their rights, and they are now claiming positions in the government and even in companies. For me, with this research, I have the following objectives. In having this research, one can obtain knowledge on CJE-A, its significant role in promoting gender equalities and women empowerment. Furthermore, knowledge obtained would allow us to A. Promote the different programs or projects of CJE-A to alleviate women's condition. B. Inform society of the different rights and responsibilities in promoting women's welfare. And C. To ensure elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. With the mentioned objectives and the findings of this research, I have the following recommendations. The government must make measures as to fully implement gender equality programs. Government and non-government agencies must share responsibilities in promoting gender equality in the society. Information campaign must be strengthened from workplace, educational institutions, and until to the most depressed area in the community. So that is all about my first research topic on Convention on the Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women, or CJE-A. The second topic of research is about the rights of the child from Declaration to Convention. This topic focuses on children's rights. As we all know, children are vulnerable individuals and are prone to abuses like women. They too cannot protect themselves and cannot stand on their own, for they were trained to follow elders. These children are the next or the future generation. They are the ones who will be in the future. Why children's rights? According to Convention on the Rights of the Child, all children should grow up in the spirit of peace, dignity, tolerance, freedom, equality, and solidarity And with this, all nations have the responsibility to provide these rights by the law of United Nations. It is a fact when children's rights are protected, children stand a much better chance of growing up in a society that allows them to thrive. This convention protects and ensures that the rights of the children are protected at all costs. Many children are being exploited through mentally and physically dangerous works that involves hazardous workplace and exploitative acts such as slavery, drug trafficking, prostitution, and armed conflicts. After the research, the following new information were acquired. First, the convention aimed in total implementation of children's protection globally. Second, rights with regard to children are especially important because children, being innocent, trusting, and full of hope, must be protected at all times, at all costs. This research was anchored on the following objectives. Ensure that children's rights were being protected at all times, encourage society to take part in protecting children's rights and implement information thrive to educate the society in protecting children's rights. With the objectives and the findings of the research, the following recommendations are suggested. The government must strengthen campaign on child protection policy. The society must take part in protecting children from them to have a brighter future. The children must also be educated as their rights and responsibilities as all. The evolution of the human rights The evolution of the human rights law is the third research. This research tackles on the different human rights and the changes of its governing laws that goes with it through the years. Human rights are ideally pinpointed to the year 539 BC. This law deals with the fact that human security is based on the recognition that all persons are subject to dignity and rights. The evolution of human rights law leads to the foundation of international human rights law, which is adopted by different nations and they are to adhere to the said law. With this research, the following knowledge were obtained. First, human rights are the rights inherent to all human beings, regardless of our nationality, residence, sex, sexual orientation, and gender identity, nationality or ethnic origin, color, religion, language, or any other status, that we are all equally entitled to our human rights without discrimination. Second, the basic value introduced by the Declaration of the Rights of Man and the Citizen states that all men are born equal and remain free and equal in rights. Third, human rights are changed, defined mostly based on political concerns. As a researcher, I anchored my research on the evolution of human rights on the following objectives. This research is anchored on the following objectives it wanted to achieve after the result of this research. A. To understand fully the evolution of human rights and the underlying factors of its changes. B. To uphold human rights through its governing laws and to promote human rights through information campaign. And with the results of the research, I came out with the following recommendations. Intensify human rights information campaign to fully educate society as to their rights and responsibilities as well. The society must follow and uphold human rights. The government must intensify the fight against human rights violation. These three researchers play significant roles in shaping the type of society that we are living, and it is important that we know on this. They are the keys to the find of society we are in. It is important that the society will know everything about these topics. And having these researchers, we can also be instrument in uplifting human rights and letting the public know about it. Thus, I would like to have the opportunity to extend my gratitude to you, Mom, for giving us the chance to know that we have all these rights and that the start of our responsibilities is the start in other people's rights. Thank you and good morning.